Choo-choo! The Hot Mess Express is coming.
My nomination ceremony has just happened, and I feel like nothing has changed since my last confessional. What am I supposed to talk about?
First things first, Jonathan.
Uh-huh.
You think you're funny, don't you? You think you're funny, don't you?
I set up my key ceremony so that Jacob would sweat a little bit.
Last person safe is Jacob.
I think the joke landed.
Can I just say that me getting my key pulled last better not be a tradition, because I'm over that so much. Like, I'm not a fan whatsoever. He nominates Chris and Taylor, which is what we expected. Ultimately, I think this is the best move for us this week. I think this is a pair that is never going to go against each other. We need to split them up. I don't have a good relationship with either one in this game. I think this is for the best.
So I'm nominated. Boo. Stupid. Dumb. It actually was not a shock. I do think that there are a few people, particularly people that are working on the other side, that know their position or know that, okay, this is the safe bet for right now, but I'm going to be ready to kind of mix and mingle and work my own agenda within the next couple of rounds. So I just need to survive this week. I think the easiest thing for me to do is to win this power of veto so that I can get my ass off the block.
Personally, I think Taylor should be the one to go, just because I think she's a huge threat in this game. I think she's a lot more connected than Chris is, per se. And I feel like I can at least try and talk to Chris. I don't really know if Taylor would ever hear me out.
I really did want to play this game the long haul with Taylor, but we are put into a position now where it is me versus her. So if that's the case, I'm going to stay and she's got to go, and that's what it is.
Taylor and Chris are nominated, and I could not be more happy about it. I took a shot at Taylor last week, and I missed, and I am so happy that I have another opportunity to hopefully have a part in getting her out of this game. Taylor is probably the person in this game that I think has the most reason to come after me. I literally haven't spoken to her since she won the veto last week. So I know that our relationship is at a point where I don't think that it's going to come back for this game. I absolutely adore Taylor, like, outside of this game, but inside the game, I just don't think that there's any potential there anymore.
Weird thing happened after the HOH comp last night. I was supposed to talk to Ryan after, and for me, it was just going to be explaining this whole me, Joe, Sean situation and kind of letting him know that, I felt bad and I was open to working with him in the future. But I get on call with him, and honestly, like, the conversation becomes he wants to be in an alliance with myself, Joe, and Shelby. And I'm thinking, wait a second. So you found out that I was in an alliance with Joe and Sean. I haven't voted with you in 2 weeks, and you still want to be in an alliance with me. It's always great getting offers for alliances, but sometimes there's just something weird about it. Like, I know that Ryan is close to Taylor and Brady. Like, I know that he's working with them. So why would he not include them in a deal that he is making with me? Ultimately, I think that this is just Ryan trying to cover his bases. He's trying to position himself more so in the middle. He has his allies on the one side, and now he's essentially trying to ensure his allies on the other, which is smart, but I'm just really, really suspicious about it. I don't want to make the same mistake twice. I feel like I have a really good thing going with Jonathan and with Dustin right now, and the last thing they need to hear is that I am in another alliance chat that does not include them.
Ryan put me, Shelby, and Jacob in a little alliance group, and we were really nervous about it. We all kind of like him. Shelby probably likes him the least, apparently. I don't know. The way it kind of went down, was kind of fishy and it's probably my fault, so I'm really sorry, Ryan. So now Shelby's not really comfortable with it, but we're going to talk in the chat, and we were like, well, we cannot get caught with this alliance, so we went ahead and told Jonathan and Dustin after the nominations were done on our little alliance call, because if it came out, the good bitches could crumble, and I don't want that. The group itself is solid, and we will fight.
In the off chance that Ryan has told Taylor and Brady about this group, I do not want them to have this over us. Like, I don't want them to be able to throw this out and then completely cause fractures within our group of 5.
Me, Shelby, Jacob, and Ryan are in an alliance that was just created today. It just started.
You're making it seem so like much bigger than it is.
I was just kidding. It's not like he put us in a group chat and he's like, "Oh, I want to like work with you guys," type thing. And we haven't done a call in it or anything, but
I still haven't said a word in the chat.
I actually do intend on keeping Ryan safe. I like Ryan a lot. He's probably one of my favorite people in the game. He's super nice, he's super sweet, and he's really cool. But we wanted to let you know.
I was nice. I talk to him actually every day, usually.
Every day, usually.
Every day. We talked for the past week.
Yeah.
Yesterday was the
And
first
see,
day.
I barely talk to him. I don't know why he wants. I barely.
Yeah,
talk.
it felt very out of left field. Like, it didn't make sense.
Oh, I'm so nervous. I've never had this solid of a group, I think, before in a Big Brother game. At least it's been a while. I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds for this group.
My mission for this week is to be fake as and really like befriend a lot of these people and really make them feel like there's a possibility of, working with me down the line. I will literally say and do anything I need to do in order to stay, but not be so like blatantly thirsty like Sean was last week, so that I can stay. My first order of business was to not overreact about being nominated. So I made sure I had several drinks before going into that nomination ceremony and just kind of acted like I didn't really care.
Taylor and Chris, it's time to pick players for the veto competition. As head of household, I'll pick first. And I'll choose my favorite number 2. Andrew, you've been selected to play in the veto. Yay, 3 for 3. Taylor, please select a player for the veto competition.
I am going to pick 7.
Ooh, house guest choice. Get it, girl.
I will pick Michael Brady.
And I will accept. Taylor gets house guest choice, and she picks me. I'm flattered that Taylor picked me, but this is a very awkward situation for me. The enemy that John's target is just picked me to play in veto. And now it's like I'm in a situation where, okay, if Taylor or Chris Brown wins, I'm probably going up. I think I have to go for the win.
Chris, please select a player for the veto competition.
I will pick 9. Shelby, you will be playing in this week's veto.
Cool.
As head of household, it is my responsibility to pick a host. And I choose Jacob! Woo!
Thank you, Jonathan.
Veto competition begins tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern. Good luck, everybody. Veto should turn out interesting because Taylor told me she wouldn't be able to get off in time for the challenge. And the time didn't change for her because the flexibility changed. I think I may have myself a sitting duck.
The veto draw did not go as I was hoping for. I was hoping that at least like me, Joe, or Dustin would be picked. Shelby was picked, which is great, but we've got Andrew in there who probably isn't going to try to win, and then you've got Brady who could totally win and use it, saving someone from the block.
It'd be a pretty bold move if Brady won veto and used it.
You don't think he would use the veto? You don't think he would?
No.
Why?
Because I talked to him about it today.
But why would?
Why does nobody talk game to me?
No one talks game to me. I mean, no one talks game to me either, so hey.
But wait, why wouldn't he use it? I don't understand.
Because he doesn't trust them. He says he feels like he's in a really sucky position because the only people he's aligned with are the weakest people in the game and then people that he doesn't trust.
This is not a good situation. Maybe I messed up week 1 when I didn't evict John. Maybe I messed up week 2 when I evicted Sean. Here we are Week 3, I'm in a tight minority. 2 of the people in the minority don't possess, to me so far, any kind of strength and challenges, and they're viewed as like not very social. So that's great allies. And then the other 2 are on the block.
I mean, is he wrong though?
No, exactly. I mean, what he said makes sense.
I mean, he missed the boat on the loyal train.
Could you
Exactly.
could you tell him that like last week I wanted to talk to him and he said no thanks? Like, could you?
Because he said that he was, because you were, what I told you before, that he said that you were throwing him under the bus and stuff.
It's stupid that people see Taylor and Chris Brown somehow as more of a threat than Jacob and Joe. That to me is astonishing. Jacob and Joe have done great in HOH competitions, and they both just thrown them at the end. Joe threw it to me, and Jacob threw it to John. They don't want HOH. Know why? Because they're literally aligned with everybody, besides me, because I gave Joe the FU. I don't get how people can see that there's 2 veteran players, or veterans, they're the twist. They're literally clearly aligned. They have told people they're clearly a duo, and on top of it, they are performing good at challenges, and they know the series better than anyone. And yet, somehow, someway, Taylor and Chris Brown are the biggest threat in the game.
So who does he want to work with then? If he doesn't like Joe, that means he doesn't like Jacob. Doesn't mean he doesn't like Jacob. If it doesn't, Joe and Jacob are associated. If he doesn't like his entire side, who does he want to work with then?
That's his problem. He says that he doesn't really want to work with anybody. He just plans on winning comps all the way to the end.
So I've been trying to talk to people and at least extend some kind of olive branch, like, dude, Dustin, I'm going to talk to you today, and maybe tomorrow you'll talk to me too, so we can get rid of this whole side mentality so I can actually maneuver through the game.
But yeah,
what's up?
Yeah, I figured, I mean, I feel like I haven't talked to you in a really long time.
I feel like it's been a while. I was thinking about that. I was like, I don't know why it's been a while. It just has.
I'm going to be honest, I really want this whole side thing to end. But
Oh,
I
me
also,
too.
I also don't know how it's going to.
But like, if I had any advice for you, Brady, because like from what I've been told and everything, is I would try and mend that relationship with Joe.
Okay.
Like, even if you don't want to.
Every conversation I have is the same loop-de-loop. You should talk to Joe. You should make up with Joe. I don't want to make up with Joe. Screw Joe. I'm not here to do what Joe wants. I'm not going to listen to him. I'm no one's puppet. They want to play puppet, they can play puppet. I'm not going to play puppet. Shelby and Dustin have both said the same thing. You just need to let Taylor and Chris Brown go, and then the sides will be over, and you'll be able to get back into good graces with people. What? I'm going to let the only 2 people in this game that have my back for sure and don't suck at comps go because you guys say so? Their strategy is literally do whatever Joe says. If Joe says evict Amanda, evict Amanda. John and Dustin literally switched their votes last round because Joe said so. They're floaters, but at the same time, they're just not smart floaters. I'll make up with Joe when he apologizes for talking shit about me when I did nothing other than say I don't want to go on a call with him where he's going to try to tell me to evict Amanda. F that. F you.
I knew that I needed to talk to certain people in this game just to kind of clear the air and let it be known that I'm not being like shady or vindictive or coming after you, even though I actually am. Main person being Joe. So I had a conversation with him, and I feel like it went well. I was just like, I feel like there's a disconnect here. I think that we need to get on the same page, and we need to actually compare notes with one another versus allowing information to go through several people and come back to us.
I don't think I've officially made a final 2 with Chris. I know that, like I said, I'd want to work with him, and I know that I said that I'd have his back, and, like, I've alluded that he'd be pretty close, but, like, if it came down to, like, Chris versus Taylor versus Michael, like, if a combination of Chris and those 2 are on the block, I don't know what I would do, because, like, it's very clear that Ryan is cool with the whole me, him, and Taylor working together thing, and it seems like Taylor's probably working with Michael Brady, so, like, it would make sense for me to want to keep Chris, because Taylor is the solidification between Michael Taylor me and Ryan Taylor me. So, like, maybe, like, cement the final 2 that I have with Michael Brady a little bit more, because, like, I'm not confident that I'm his final 2 for real.
I hope with everything in me, Shelby knows that she's not the top of that and she wants to flip soon. And I hope she's able to pull enough strings to keep me in the game. while that happens. Because if I can just stay in the game, get me to 9, 8, whatever, and people finally start waking up and playing for themselves, then I can at least work with that, hopefully.
I had a conversation with Brady about where we stand in the game. This was really important for me to have because I feel like it's been a while since Brady and I have really like come together and talked about where we stand and where we want to go together in this game. Because of the vote from last week, he was on one side and I was kind of on the other side, or at least most of my allies were. And he was kind of giving me a little bit of attitude about it and I didn't appreciate it. But at the same time, Brady is someone that is a close friend of mine and someone that I would like to work with in this game. We've kind of realized that it's helpful for both of us to have each other in this game because where we stand right now is I'm on one side of the house and he's on the other. So we have a lot of information that we can share with each other about what's going on. I'm definitely not telling him everything about my side of the house. And I don't think he's telling me everything about his side of the house either. And I can't expect that because I'm not doing it either. I feel like he's in a position where he doesn't have that many options because of the enemies that he's made in this game, particularly with Joe. Now, the other thing about his side is that he also feels like he's with the weaker people. So his closest allies are Mandy and Ryan, two of which haven't seemed to have much of an impact on what's happened in the game so far. So he feels kind of in a lose-lose situation. And he expressed that he would like to work with people on my side more. He likes Jonathan and would like to move forward with the three of us. And I was kind of fishing to see if there was anyone else on my side that he maybe wanted to work with too. And he had mentioned Dustin. At this point in my game, what I'm focusing on is having as many connections as I can and having as many connections between my connections to make sure that I'm always sitting in a position where someone has my back and someone else has their back about having my back. Brady had also mentioned to me that he had a conversation with Chris where Chris had said that he doesn't trust anyone on my side of the house except for me, which might be a lie, but I kind of believe it. Chris is someone that I have had a good relationship with through this game. I haven't lied to him about stuff. We've had very honest, open conversations about the game, and we have even more conversations just about life, and I genuinely enjoy his company. Chris is someone in this game that I feel like could really benefit me as an individual, but I'm not sure how much he can offer the people that I want to really work with further down the line. I feel like he is coming after some of my closest allies, especially since Brady told me that he was planning on nominating Joe and Jacob had he won HOH. Clearly, that's not good for my game. Jacob is my number one, and having him on the block at any point is not a win for me whatsoever. So I feel like I'm at this point in my game where I'm having to decide between what would be best for me as an individual and what would be best for my group. I don't know if I'm at the point where I really can afford to be selfish, but I definitely want to be. Like, Jacob and I even had an argument the other night, if you can call it that. I feel like one of the things that is now starting to make itself apparent is that I tell Jacob a lot of information, and I think I need to rein that back a little bit because, one, he knows so much about my game, and two, what's good for my game isn't always necessarily going to be good for his game. I came into this game by myself. I'm going to get voted out by myself, or I'm going to win by myself. And I have to remember that. So one of the big things that Jacob and I were talking about was Brady and our individual relationships with him. Brady would definitely nominate Jacob. That is not good for me and definitely not good for Jacob. But my relationship with Brady, for me, is really good as an individual. I don't think that he would put me up on the block, and he gives me information and we have good conversations. I was trying to tell Jacob that I really want to keep Brady until at least jury. Jacob got really offended by this. He was saying all this shit like, Shelby, like half of the house is going to come after me, and like everybody wants to work with you. You're in such a good spot. Yeah, and I want to stay in that good spot. This was probably a mistake, but I said it and I can't take it back now. But I had told him that Brady had mentioned that Chris trusts me still, but doesn't trust the rest of our group. Then Jacob all of a sudden said, oh, well, maybe we should, like, he didn't say it like right after, but it was close enough that I think that there's definitely a connection. But he was like, well, maybe we should take out Chris this week instead of Taylor. And I'm like, you can try to convince me of that, but I'm voting out Taylor this week no matter what if she's on the block. Like, you can't change my mind. I don't necessarily think he's in a bad spot because we do have the group of me, Jacob, Joe, Dustin, and John, which I think is very solid. So I don't think that any of us in that group are in a bad spot. But I think that Jacob is starting to feel like he might be in a worse spot just in general in the game than me. And I don't want to think that he's like trying to come after the people who I have potential to work with, but it's starting to feel like that because he has a better relationship with Ryan and Mandy than I do, and I have a better relationship with Brady and Chris than he does, and he's trying to push that we need to get Brady and Chris out, which, I mean, if they left, I wouldn't be heartbroken, but for right now, I would like to keep them in the game since they're not coming after me. So it's hard for me to find the right balance of what's good for me and what's good for my allies. I don't want to throw my game in the trash for my allies because what good is that going to do for me?
My allies are Brady and Ryan if I survive this week and Taylor goes. Those are my strong allies, and those are the people that I'm looking to play this game with. I feel like they're the people that are down with the agenda that I am down for, and that is to get the people out of this game who are low-key behind the scenes running the show, whether they're just pushing their own agenda that's like, oh, I'm not really telling people what to do, I'm just telling them what I'm doing, and they're just doing what I'm telling them to do. Joe. Or low-key like Snaky, and I think that they could be, you know, really hardcore competitors strategically and challenge-wise. Jacob. Those are my two big targets. I want them out, and I'm going to make it my mission to get them out. Wish me luck on this Power of Veto, bitches.
Welcome to this week's Power of Veto competition, Hide and Go Seek.
Yeah!
Yay.
This competition will be Big Brother's version of your favorite childhood game. It will involve some memory, some observation skills, and a little bit of luck. Each of you will have your very own Power of Veto that you will have to hide from your fellow competitors. Production will screen share with you a grid of 50 possible spots throughout the BB Basics house where you can hide your veto. One by one, you will message production your choice of where you would like to hide your veto. After all 6 vetoes are hidden, we will move into the second phase of the competition, which is known as the seeking phase. This phase will take place in rounds. A round is complete when all 6 house guests have searched for a veto. In each room are several pictures of various spots where your competitors might have hidden their vetoes. You will pick one spot to search. At the end of the round, I will let you know how many vetoes have been found, if any, but I will not reveal whose. The owner of the remaining unfound veto will win this week's Power of Veto competition.
Tell me what item you want in a private message over Skype.
Is this sponsored by The Brick?
Go, Andrew. Seek to your heart's content.
Finished.
All right. Good job, Taylor. Now let's see how many vetoes were found in round 1. So, turns out 1 veto has already been found.
Wow.
Now, let's go into round number 2.
Give me that sink.
Gotta go get the sink. All right, I'm done.
Good job, Taylor. Let's go see how many vetoes were found. All right, everybody. Round 2, no vetoes were found. So now it's time to jump into round 3. Andrew, you're up.
Okay, I am finished.
All right, Andrew. Chris, you're up. Remember, house guests, you want to find everyone else's veto, not your own, you big silly. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. That concludes round 3. Let's see how many of those little rascals you guys were able to find. 1 veto was found in round 3, which means a total of 2 vetoes have been found. Let's go into round 4. We're going to show you guys the grid. I know where I'd hide a veto.
Oh, yeah?
It's time to go to round 4. All right, Chris, you're up.
Done.
All right, next person up is Jonathan.
Done.
All right, that concludes round 4. Let's see how many vetoes were found. Round 4, no vetoes were found. So, going into round 5, we're going to switch it up a little bit. Now, instead of 1 item, you will be allowed to search 2 items. That's right, everybody. Double the chances. Let's start round 5. Andrew, you're up. And remember, you can now search for 2 items. Chris, you're next.
Finished.
Michael, you're next.
Done.
Next person up is Shelby.
Finished.
All right, that concludes round 5. Let's see how many vetoes were found. In round 5, 1 veto was found, which means a total of 3 vetoes have been found and 3 are still hidden. Let's start round 6. So Andrew, you're up.
I'm done.
Next person is Chris.
Finished.
Next person up is Jonathan. Let's see how many vetoes have been found. All right, guys. In round 6, 1 veto was found, which means we have 4 vetoes found and only 2 remaining. For round 7, you are now search 3 items.
No way!
Oh my god.
I'm sure no one saw that coming. All right, Andrew, you're up, buddy. Just kidding. He's gonna show you the grid. No.
Is the grid supposed to help us?
Get out of here, grid. Nobody wants you here.
I know exactly where I'm going now. Boom. One of the ones I saw on the grid that I wanted. Telling you, the grid. You guys are sleeping on the grid.
Alrighty, I am done.
All right, that concludes round 7. Let's see if you guys found any vetoes. So no vetoes were found. Holy crap!
Are you
Okay.
kidding me?
For round number 8, we're gonna let you guys search for 3 all at the same time, right, Jermaine? Is that what you said? Okay. So when I say go, you all will be able to go search your 3 items. Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Yes!
All right, go find that veto, please. For the love of God, go.
Go.
Go get it. Round 8, no vetoes were found. All right, take a good look at that grid, everybody. As you can see, some of the items have been removed to help you find that final veto.
Alright, I'm done.
All right, that concludes round 9. Let's see if any of those vetoes were found. I can safely announce that a veto has been found.
Yes!
We did it!
The first veto was found by Chris. And that veto belonged to Jonathan. I'm sorry, Jonathan, but you did not win the power of veto. The second veto was found by Chris as well.
Oh my god.
Someone was doing their job at least.
And it was Brady's. I'm sorry, Brady,
rats.
but you did not win the power of veto. The third veto was found by Shelby, and it belonged to Andrew. I'm sorry, Andrew, but you did not win the golden power of veto. That means that we are down to Chris, Shelby, and Taylor. The fourth veto was found by Jonathan, and it belonged to Shelby. I'm sorry, Shelby, but you did not win the golden power veto. Which means that either Chris or Taylor will win this week's golden power veto. The fifth veto was found by Chris, and it belonged to Taylor's. Meaning, congratulations, Chris, you have won the golden power of veto.
I won!
Congrats, Chris. When it came down to me and the 2 of them, I was like,
I knew we didn't
I knew that mine was gonna get found.
I was looking at that ladle.
And who found it?
You should have left that crock pot alone.
Bitches. I won the power of veto, and I'm not going anywhere this week. Thank you to the higher forces and beings that worked in my favor to help me win that challenge, because it definitely was luck, but it did require some strategy as well. Like, I feel like you had to use a little psychology and think about, like, what kind of items are people going to pick? Like, what kind of items are people going to gravitate towards? So, I'll just go ahead and brush my shoulders off for getting 3 out of the 5 that need to be picked to win the challenge and picking something that people didn't gravitate towards. I do feel like bittersweet about this victory, obviously, because I feel like it definitely puts Taylor at a really, really, really high risk of going home this week. And she's a good ally. Like, I love Taylor. I know that she'd be down to work with me in this game. The house has it out for her, and they have it out for us as a duo. So I almost think that it's kind of serendipitous and great that she could potentially be leaving this week. And if she did leave, then it gets rid of the excuse of me being a power duo with someone else. So I'm going to use this opportunity of not being vulnerable to begin to talk to people and build some relationships. I'm pumped now. I have a challenge win. I've been getting second place over and over again. I finally got that challenge win, so now I'm really pumped. Like, I really want to slay this game. Bring it, bitches.
Chris won the power of veto. Of course, he's going to use it on himself, which means Taylor is left as a nominee, and John's going to have to nominate someone else. And my guess is that he is going to want someone that is a non-threat put up so that Taylor is the obvious person to leave. If John's true goal is to get Taylor out, then putting a non-threat up like me, Andrew, or Ryan, if Andrew's with him, then he's obviously not putting Andrew, then it's between me and Ryan. I really don't know where tonight's gonna go, but I'm hoping that it goes in my favor, because I do not need a rehash of last week.
Chris Brown, he won. And I can't help but be happy for him. He's a great guy. I'm really happy I got to play this game with him. I'm excited that he won. I can't be upset. But, you know, someone comes off the block, someone goes on the block. This week, I've been completely outcasted from the house. The other side doesn't even bother reaching out to me. If I reach out to them, they'll respond with minimal talk, and it'll all just be smoke up my ass. The people on my side are just kind of defeated. It's just kind of sad. If I don't go up on the block, I'd actually be more surprised than if I do go on the block. I think it's between me and Ryan. I have nothing to base that on, because obviously I'm not getting any information from that side at all. Like, I don't really know where to go. I've never been so dumbfounded in a game before. I'm like a lost puppy out here. I'm trying to get a new home. Could someone take me in, please? Could someone bring me into their house and give me some dog food and like maybe a blanket, because I'm cold? This is just a lose-lose situation. Obviously, the worst lose would be if I go up, so I just hope it's not me, and I'll feel bad for whoever it is.
Let's ask the man of the hour, Jonathan. What you thinking? You're the HOH.
My thought is Taylor's still nominated. Taylor's still getting evicted.
I 100% agree with that.
If she stays, then I cry.
No.
Well, we had the votes.
We have the votes. We'll have your back. It'll be 4 votes to evict, at least.
Yeah.
That's good. For the person I'm going to renominate, I'm thinking I want to test the waters and see if like more than 4 people vote Taylor out and put up Ryan.
Okay.
That's honestly a good idea, is put up people we haven't put up yet, just to see where people stand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because like some people told me that they weren't going to, they were going to evict Taylor no matter what, and like they didn't align with her. So I want to see what like if people actually.
We shouldn't tell anyone what we're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm the devil mastermind of the season, and I'm loving it. Apparently, Michael Brady thinks that I hijacked Shelby's HOH reign, didn't warn Jonathan to not let me do the same thing. I feel like people are working with me, and I'm okay with that group. I love my little good bitches alliance. I think they're all pretty genuine. I think they're going to take each other pretty far. I could definitely be the first casualty, just based on what everyone is saying. There's really nothing I can do to shed this image, so I just need to work with it and just embrace it. I'm responsible for everything this season. There's nothing you can do to stop me. I am the twist to end all twists.
So, definitely ecstatic and excited about going into this ceremony, because I know that I foiled someone's plans, having a Taylor and Chris duo on block. It's bittersweet knowing that Taylor has a very strong possibility of going home this week, simply because people just have it out for her. So I won the veto. Nice try, Jonathan. It was your chance to get me out. Nice shot, but guess what? I'm here to stay, and I don't even know how to talk without cussing. I speak again, sorry. All I keep saying is in my head. So guess who won that deal? Me. Nice try on this one. It's your shot to get me out, but guess what? I'm here to stay.
Please gather in the living room. It's time for the veto ceremony. This is the veto ceremony. Taylor and I have been nominated for eviction, but I have the power to veto one of Jonathan's nominations. I will now give Taylor the chance to tell me why I should use the golden power of veto on her.
All right, Chris. Honestly, I think you should use the power of veto on me because I'm obviously the better half of this power duo. And even though you won it, I still deserve to be saved. And I honestly expect nothing less other than for you to use it on me, so.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that great explanation. It definitely is very, very tempting. However, I plan to use the golden power veto on myself. So, Jonathan, since I've decided to remove one of your nominations, you must now name a replacement nominee.
One of my nominations evidently has been vetoed, and that means I have to name a replacement. And unfortunately, I'm choosing to nominate you, Ryan. I'm sorry. I just feel like I've talked to you the least, and I need to put somebody else up, so I choose you. Sorry.
Yeah, so much for telling me I'm going to be 100% safe this week. Remember that?
I don't actually. I never said that.
Oh, it was on a live Google Hangout, so I remember that.
Oh. Okay.
All right. This veto meeting is adjourned.
I never said that to him.
Monday is Canadian Thanksgiving, and I still have to work.
Hey, is John still here?